Your Town Matters is funded by the Government of Canada through the Local Journalism Initiative and supported by Cactus Media, Canada's independent community television association.
Vicki Hogarth, and welcome to Your Town Matters. My guests today are Deputy Mayor of the Town of St. Stephen, Ghislaine Wheaton, and Events Coordinator Michelle Vest. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us, yes.
I'm very excited about St. Stephen's holiday schedule, so I thought, and based on your sweater, Ghislaine, I think we should start off by talking about about what's in store for the holidays. I was in St. Stephen on the weekend and saw that the Walk of Lights is already up in gear. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Okay, so that started Friday. So it's been very exciting, and it seems like it came upon us very soon. And also with COVID and all the things that have to be looked after, it's been, there's been changes going all along. But anyway, Friday I was very excited to see that the Walk of Light did occur. And they're beautiful, so if anyone gets a chance to drive down to the waterfront, they're there every night, and it's great. And also, the town was kind of buzzing Friday night. The stores were open, the restaurants, and I think Michelle can probably tell you about the concert that was held that night.
Yeah, it was definitely our kickoff to Christmas season. So every year the town works with our Downtown St. Stephen and the Chamber of Commerce to really kickstart everything. And so the Friday before Black Friday is when we do this kickoff. And so that was the start of the Walk of Lights. It was Moonlight Madness. We actually had the high school boys hockey tournament, and the new Charlotte County Game Time Irishmen we're hosting their first big event and a concert in town. So St. Stephen was definitely hopping for its very first day of the Christmas season. And again, that Walk of Lights, though, is something we started last year during COVID. And because it's something we can do that people can be spaced out and maintain that 6 feet of distance, and they can go at their own leisure. And we keep it up through January. And every year we just keep, hoping to grow on it and make it even bigger and better, and continue to bring people to St. Stephen so they can enjoy Christmas.
That must be exciting. I'm just going to take a tangent note and talk about the Charlotte County Irishmen for a second. Ian Curran, our young reporter from St. Stephen High School, went to the first game, and it's so exciting to see hockey of that caliber back in St. Stephen, and so many people from the area on the team. Can you tell us a little bit for people who might not know about it?
They were working on it for a number of years to get it back, and my main contact has been with Jeff Cunningham, who anyone in the hockey world in this area, they know who Jeff is. And so he was working really diligently with some other key players in this area to make this happen. And so the 4 teams that are part of this original season came together, and they're going to cost share. They're going to split the profit, split the cost to try and make it work for all teams, and keep hockey going at a senior level for those who don't have a junior A team. Well, they'll bring something. So for us, we were really, really excited to be able to be kind of the home of the Charlotte County Irishmen, sharing, of course, with here, and I believe in Blacks Harbor they practice as well. But the games will be held at the Civic Center. And so we were very lucky to be able to do that with them and host the inaugural game of the entire league. So that was really, really exciting for us, is that just by default we got to have the first, and it was wonderful. We had about 650 people at that game. So it was a great first game. People were great following the rules, staying distance, having their masks on. People were really, really great in respecting each other, respecting public health, and just seemed genuinely happy to be able to get out and enjoy some good hockey again.
I will say, in the time of COVID, when we're used to so much being canceled or changed, to see something launch was really exciting. It must be bringing a new life back to the town.
Yes, I attended the game, and it was wonderful. It was just like going back in time. Although you'd see everybody wearing masks and keeping their distances, and but it just made you feel good, thinking that maybe things were coming back. And I believe they have a hockey game this Saturday.
They do have another game this Saturday
in St. Stephen.
Right.
At
Oh,
the
exciting.
Civic Center.
Yes, and if you're
so
watching
come
this week, you could be watching this show after the fact, but there is also a Black Friday event at the Garceland. You will have a busy weekend, Michelle. I'd love you to show the poster if you can.
So this is an event that is put on by two local ladies, and as you can see, it is our 5th annual Black Friday gift gala. With the proceeds that they make, they do donate to the Transition House. And just a reminder that the Garceland Civic Center is proof of double vaccination, and you need your ID to enter. And reminding masks, of course, and any indoor are mandatory. But this is a wonderful way to support local artisans. There will be some direct sale vendors here as well, all local people, and you know, it's another good night to get out and have fun, and you know, go do your Black Friday shopping during the day if you want at the big stores, and then come to the Civic Center and support local at night.
And I'm curious to hear both of your opinions on this. Now we know that starting November 30th, the PCR test requirement for short trips to the U.S. is going away, but I have noticed all around Charlotte County in the time of COVID, everyone's been so great about shopping local, supporting local. I think there's been a renewed sense of what it means to support your neighbor and the businesses. Do you see that continuing? I know that the Shop Local is December 11th and 12th. There's a big Shop Local event in St. Stephen, but do you see that continuing?
Well, I do. I mean, because I think a lot of people are going to be very cautious about going across the border. For myself, I would be a little, because it's going to be a whole different group of people that are there. And actually, like, our businesses have done really well. And, you know, we don't have all that many stores, but I see where they have a lot of inventory in, and there's a lot to choose from. So, but I have no doubt that people will be going across, but I think we need to continue going the way that we are, and we need to take a certain kind of cautious advance towards it.
I was at Birch Corner this weekend and Spree, and the Christmas decor was amazing. So
I do think that the local businesses in town, with the closure of the border and getting so many new businesses, St. Stephen has a lot more variety now than it ever did before. So it makes it a lot easier to shop local, is because we can find it. So why drive to a city, or why wait for days and days online if you could actually buy it locally now?
Right.
And so we've been very lucky in that regard. And you know, I'm with our deputy mayor in saying I do genuinely hope that continues, and people do continue to support their neighbors and their friends and their kids' friends' parents, and continue to shop local, and definitely support the event on the 11th and 12th in town.
I think that might be one of the silver linings of having COVID go on so long, is that there's enough time to analyze the data and see that, wow, we really, if we all do stay in our areas most of the time when we're shopping. Though I do miss Martin's shoe section. I'm not going to lie about that.
Probably up to.
Well, my son wears a 13 wide, so I get it.
But I have a sister who lives on the American side, just outside of Calais. But she came to visit about a month ago, right? Got her test and came back. But she couldn't believe how busy St. Stephen was in comparison to Calais. She said, you know, so I don't know, maybe they'll stock up before, you know, we can go over, but, you know, it's not really busy there. And again, like I said, I would even be worried about venturing out, and I'm sure other people feel the same way,
State of
right?
Maine is not, masks aren't mandatory in the state of Maine, so.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And just, I mean, you know, years ago, I didn't think of that it was going to another country, right? Because you just basically walked over there, and now, you know, I know that things will be tighter, like walking over there, or, you know, going over there and coming back. When I lived in Europe, like, I couldn't get over how tight the borders were. Like, you know, I felt, and now with it being closed for so long, like, I would hesitate before, you know, I would go over. And like I said, St. Stephen's a beautiful town. You can get everything you want. And
You made a great point too that I hadn't thought of it that way, where things that, for instance, I know a lot of friends that used to get lots of dairy over in the States and now have found their alternatives, but I didn't think necessarily of stores filling those voids here. That is interesting that they've changed their inventory in some ways to meet the needs, and maybe we'll continue those trends going forward. COVID obviously does still play a role, and I know I was mentioning to you before, I work on the Santa's Helpers team. We had COVID and the strike this year we had to navigate, so anyone watching at home, we've moved it from November 29th to December 12th, still a Sunday. It was just the schools were closed for 2 weeks, so the kids' choirs needed to practice, so it was postponed our whole taping schedule, and it was something that that had to be done, unfortunately. But if you are in need of using the Santa's Helpers program, you can still apply now, and I won't postpone that, so that's a good side note. Christmas. The parade is also a hard decision to make, but the right one. Can you tell me a little bit about trying to navigate that and what your decision was?
Okay. Unfortunately, we've had to cancel it. All of our events usually take place inside, and we're able to, you know, follow the protocol. But this year, with the change in the protocols, we were told, according to Section 8, you still have to have the 6 feet apart. So people would have to be within their bubbles. I mean, we can't control that. And so unfortunately, we thought it was best that if we cancel it. I don't know, Michelle, if you want to add anything to that, or
That was the hard part. The route that we take with the cars that are along the side and just where people can stand, it would be virtually impossible to be able to ensure that Section 8 of the mandatory order was maintained, where it is the 6 feet distancing between people who do not reside together. So we, on average, think we have about 2,500 to 3,000 people that come to our parades. And with our parade route, it just mathematically it wouldn't work. There's no way to police it or enforce it. You'd have people that potentially had just crossed the border, could have possibly been exposed to the Delta variant, handing out candy to children along the way. The risks were just pretty high. And again, not being able to abide by the mandatory order. And then finally, honestly, we didn't have anyone really sign up. We only had 5 applications received, and we had been requesting applications for over a month. So the team that has been dealing with everything COVID related got together and then looking at the rules, looking at our different options, just talking to Public Works, what can we do for barricades and shutting things down, and putting it all together logistically just wasn't possible. And staying within the rules of the mandatory order. So we definitely are continuing with the stuff, as Deputy Mayor mentioned, at the Garceland Civic Center, because the controls are in place, that we can ensure everyone's safety. Kids are being given craft kits as individual kits this year and not the tables. So we've been able to change all of that to still ensure that it happens. One thing we do want to let people know about for Santa's arrival, we are doing kind of that fast pass system again, but it's all online this time.
Okay.
So if you go online to the town website and you go into our calendar and into the Christmas activities, there's a link where you can just go online and register to get your time slot.
Okay.
We are still, of course, doing walk-ins as well. So starting at 1 o'clock, you don't need an appointment, just come walk on in. We're going to get as many people through to see Santa as we can. And
What day is Santa coming to town? That's great to let the kids know. Santa will still be here.
Yep, Santa's
And
still
Mrs. Claus.
Yes, so on the 4th, December 4th, Saturday morning, starting at 10, Mrs. Claus is going to do some story time with the children and get them all nice and ready for Santa to come. And Santa likes to sleep in a little bit because it's his busy season. And Santa's going to come at 11:30. Will be the first of the bookings. And again, so then we'll run in our booked time slots to keep everyone spaced out time-wise for safety with COVID, so we don't get a big crowd. And then we'll take those walk-ins at 1 o'clock.
Okay, and there's other ways that I love that you've navigated COVID by doing ways that you can participate in what are likely like townwide events like National Ugly Sweater Christmas Day, December 17th. Am I getting the right date?
Yeah, Ugly Christmas Sweater Day. Yes, this was actually an initiative with the Downtown St. Stephen and Chamber of Commerce. They've encouraged their businesses to offer special deals and discounts to people that come in their ugly Christmas sweaters. Now, each business would do their own thing, so that'll be controlled by each of the individual businesses. But it was the brainchild of the Chamber of Commerce in downtown St. Stephen when they saw that, it falls on the day, let's just do something with it and have some fun. Everyone loves a Christmas sweater.
I don't think that Christmas sweaters are ugly at all.
Like
I was a teacher for years, so I had quite a collection, right? The earrings and everything, and the children always thought they were beautiful, right?
They got to do the
so
earrings.
I still,
It's all about that.
Also, right now there's a passport. We don't have one with us right now, but if you go the passport. The businesses are listed in the passport, so if you go to those businesses, they will sign that you've been there. So if you go to 5 different businesses, you can submit your passport, and there will be a draw. And I believe it's $4 $50
Oh, nice.
gift certificate. So it's a good prize. Years before, they used to do it just on Moonlight Madness, but this year they've extended it for a week, so you still have time this week to get those. And some of the businesses have the passport, or you could go to the courier. There's a passport in the courier. So
Or online,
online,
the Chamber of
yes,
Commerce
yes.
Facebook page or their website as well. There's copies you can download. So there's multiple ways to get a hold of a copy of that passport, but it's a wonderful thing with the businesses. And again, shopping local, supporting local, and you just might win some money for it.
And then
That's right.
the Shop Local weekend, December 11th and 12th, is that the passport as well, or how does that work?
no, the passport ends this Saturday, I
Okay.
believe. Yes.
Yeah, that one each of the businesses will have their own specials and sales. In the past, every year actually right before Christmas they've done this big Shop Local event. They've made it 2 days this year again to spread it out, so not everyone's coming in such a short period of time. More distancing for COVID, and same thing. The businesses like Moonlight Madness, the Shop Local event, they'll choose their own deals, their sales for those last minute Christmas presents you're looking for. Don't drive out of town, just drive a few minutes down the street and go get everything you need.
And you have a big Christmas concert coming up as well?
We do. That the St. Stephen 150 Committee, which our Deputy Mayor is chairperson of, conveniently, we're sponsoring. It's Annika from America's Got Talent will be our headliner, and our own local band, Full Circle, will be opening the show for that. There are still some individual seats left. All the VIP tables are sold out. Okay. So.
And that's December 11th. So.
You've both been busy, as you mentioned, St. Stephen 150 and you as chair,
Right.
Ghislaine. Michelle, I know you've been actively involved in so many 150 events. How are you ending this amazing year? Any special events planned to mark the end of 150? I know it's been ongoing, but there must be something.
Well, we're waiting till the last day.
Well, we started on the first day.
On the
January
first day,
was our
on the
kickoff,
first day.
which you
And-
were with us.
Yes.
So, and like you mentioned, we've had a number of events throughout the year. When we started, planning it, I kept thinking we'd have one special day, which would have been the 17th of May, which, we did have some event, but we were only allowed 50 people, so it really changed things. But I think in the long run that it worked out better because we continued to have events, and we were able to put more focus on each of the events. Like just recently, I think October 24th, we put in a plaque for the Loyalist Landing, and that was well attended. And as a matter of fact, the minute it went online, we were contacted from the Imperial Loyalists Association, and they're going to put it in their archive. So the very next day, he was getting all kinds of information, and so it was wonderful. So to me, if you had everything on one day, it would be hard to. But anyway, on December 31st, we're going to have an event. We're going to ask even all the staff to drop in. It'll be like a drop-in event, and we will combine it with the mayor's levy, which is usually the 1st of January. And we have a lady that's has been photographing all the events that have been taking place, and have a final video of all the events that have been taking place. And this will take place at the Civic Center.
Yeah, we're aiming for 1 to 3 p.m. on the 31st with the documentary, the short promo videos. We actually have utilized a St. Stephen native, a young lady named Juliet Bartlett. For those who don't know her, she's the one that did the stage a few years back. So she's wonderfully talented, and we're looking forward to seeing what she comes up with. But we wanted to start our year with music and art and culture from our town, and we're ending our year the same way.
So my hat's off to you both. I know it's been I remember talking to you in 2020, and we said, oh, well, at least, this pandemic will hopefully be over by the year of 150. Well.
But we look at it as we've done a fair bit. We had the events at the Civic Center. We did the time capsule, the bateau restoration, the booklets, multiple events through the year. As Ghislaine just said, the Loyalist Landing plaque. So we were able to devote time to some of our creating some smaller events, and maybe hitting more of an interest group too. We've had different people in attendance at these different things, so hopefully everyone was able to get something out of our 150 year.
Yeah, and while it was challenging to navigate, I know us too, just here at the TV station, it made you value where you live so much more in the weirdest way. As challenging as it was, did you feel the same?
Yeah. And we did also manage the commemorative booklet, and we do still have some of those available at the Civic Center. And those different events that we went to, we were able to give them out, and it renewed an interest. And it also renewed an interest in our history, because you can focus on certain parts. So, for me, history was not really my thing, but now, I really covet this history of St. Stephen, so it makes it even more special. And even in the future, I think we can even promote other things, because of this. I'm looking at a heritage fair maybe next year, and involving the school children, which I think this is where it needs to start, right? But again, every event that you had, usually in times past, you'd have an event and you'd say, well, this is the way it's going to be. You organize it, and this is the way it was going to be. Now, nothing is the way it was.
Nothing seems to be the way we start planning it.
And it doesn't seem, but anyway, we have to make it fit with our lives at the time, so.
You both did a tremendous job.
I think that's great, so.
You should be very proud. It's been fun to follow along. Just as camera people and reporters, everything you managed to do, and I did learn a lot as well.
Yeah.
Well, thank you to you and
Yes,
CHCO for being
yes.
such a big part of our year with us. I mean, you guys are always there for us, so thank you. You're a
Yes.
wonderful asset to this community.
Well, I'm not going to jinx
Yes,
2022 by saying anything about how it will be easier.
It'll just be different.
Yeah,
so
you
we
already
have
jinxed
to
us for
know that
2021.
Well, the next time I have you back, Ghislaine, I think we'll have to talk about a new chapter in St. Stephen's history, which will be the municipal reform plan, but I'll wait till we have a few more details.
Okay.
Thank you
That
both
would
for
be
being
different.
here.
Okay,
you.
then thank you. Thank you very much.
My guests today have been Ghislaine Wheaton, Deputy Mayor of the town of St. Stephen, and Michelle Vest, the Events Coordinator for the town of St. Stephen. I'm Vicki Hogarth. Thank you for watching Your Town Matters.